I was home alone when I got a call from my landline. The voice on the other end was me, whispering, "Don't move." I've always lived alone. It's easier that way. No arguments about dishes, no compromising on the thermostat, no explaining why I sometimes wake up screaming at 3 a.m. Just me, my books, and the old Victorian house I inherited from my grandmother. The landline was her idea. Cell phones fail, Jacob, she'd said before she passed. When something goes wrong, you'll want a real phone. I kept it connected mostly out of respect for her memory. That Tuesday night, I was grading papers, half watching a documentary, when my cell phone rang. Unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail, but some impulse made me answer. "Hello?" Nothing but static. I was about to hang up when I heard something in the white noise. "Jacob." I sat up straighter. "Who is this?" More static. Then, "The landline will ring. Answer it. Please." Before I could respond, the call ended. I stared at my phone, wondering if one of my students was playing a prank. They knew I lived alone. They knew my name. But something in that voice had seemed urgent. The landline rang exactly 14 minutes later. I remember checking the time, 10:47 p.m., as I approached the old beige phone mounted on the kitchen wall. "Hello?" At first, I thought the line had disconnected. There was no static, no breathing, nothing. Then I heard it, my own voice, but wrong somehow. Strained and desperate. "Don't move." The hairs on my arm stood up. It was unmistakably my voice, the same slight rasp, the same cadence, but I hadn't spoken. "Who is this?" I demanded. "Please," my voice whispered back. "If you value your life, don't move. Stay perfectly still for the next 60 seconds. Is this some kind of joke? How are you? Please." The desperation in my own voice startled me into silence. 53 seconds. "Don't move." I froze, the receiver pressed against my ear, eyes darting around the kitchen. Nothing seemed amiss. The refrigerator hummed. Outside, a car drove past, its headlights briefly illuminating the room through the blinds. 38 seconds, my voice whispered. I became aware of a sound I hadn't noticed before. A soft, rhythmic clicking, like the tapping of something hard against glass. It seemed to be coming from the window above the sink. 11 seconds. The clicking grew faster, more insistent. I desperately wanted to turn my head to look, but the warning held me in place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The clicking stopped abruptly. "Now. Run to your bedroom. Lock the door. Do it now." I dropped the phone and ran. I didn't look back, didn't stop to check what had been at my window. I slammed my bedroom door shut, locked it, and pushed my dresser against it for good measure. I heard it enter through the kitchen window, the sound of glass sliding up, followed by something heavy hitting the floor with a wet thud. Then silence. I pressed my ear against the door, straining to hear. Footsteps. Slow, dragging footsteps, accompanied by that clicking sound. It was moving through my house methodically, as if searching. It paused at each door before moving on. Finally, it reached my bedroom. The doorknob rattled. I bit my knuckles to keep from making a sound. A voice, my voice, came from the other side. But this wasn't the voice from the phone. This was distorted, like someone learning to use vocal cords for the first time. "Jacob, I smell you." Something slammed against the door hard enough to make the dresser shudder. I backed away, looking frantically for a weapon. My phone rang again. Not my cell, that was still in the living room. But my landline, which had no extension in this room. The cordless receiver on my nightstand lit up. A phone that shouldn't exist was ringing. I stared at it, paralyzed with fear as the thing outside my door slammed into it again. I answered. "It's mimicking you," my voice said through the receiver. "It saw your picture, heard your voice. That's what they do." "What's happening? What is that thing?" I whispered. "There's no time. It'll break through soon. You need to get out." "How?" The dresser slid another inch as the door splintered. "The window. There's a small ledge. You can reach the maple tree if you jump. Do it now." "Who are you?" I demanded, even as I moved to the window. "I'm you, Jacob. 6 months from now. If you survive tonight." "That's impossible." "The burn mark on your left palm from when you were 7. The recurring dream about grandma's attic. Believe me now?" I stared at my left palm, at the crescent-shaped scar no one knew about. The door behind me buckled as claws tore through the wood. "Why is this happening?" I asked, sliding the window open. "They found a way through. A thinning between worlds. That thing hunts by mimicking its prey. It will wear your skin if it catches you." My voice paused. I nearly didn't make it. But I found a way to warn myself. The dresser toppled over. The door burst open. I caught a glimpse of something pale and wrong, too many limbs, a face like melted wax with my features crudely stamped on it, before I leapt from the window. I missed the closest branch, clipped another with my shoulder, and fell hard onto the lawn. Pain shot through my ankle, but adrenaline kept me moving. I limped to my car and drove. I didn't return home for 3 days. When I did, with police officers at my side, the house was undisturbed. No broken door, no shattered window. The officers gave me pitying looks as they searched room to room, finding nothing. But there was one thing. On my kitchen counter, next to the phone, was a small piece of paper that hadn't been there before. Written in my handwriting were instructions for creating a temporal loop called complex calculations and wiring diagrams I didn't understand. At the bottom was a simple note. 6 months. November 16th. It will return. Be ready to make the call. The loop must continue. Today is May 16th. I have exactly 6 months to learn how to call myself in the past. And sometimes, late at night, I hear clicking at my window.